your main job in your life is job itself. Hi, I'm Eden. Today I want to talk about work. I think this is a topic for 99% of the people on this planet. I recently heard a sentence. It says that in our life it feels like our main job is just the job itself. If you think about the holidays, the marriage, the wedding planning, you are delivering a baby, everything, almost you have to ask permission from your job. So that's why I think it's so shocking to hear this sentence. Your main job in your life is job itself. And I think it goes back to a very fundamental question that do you feel happy or fulfilled about your work? Are you doing a job, or you are just in the workplace, spending time? I think there's a very fundamental differentiation between working a job and spending time in a workplace. In China, we recently have a concept that is called single person company. What does it mean? It means you are working for yourself. The mindset is you are the boss, you are the employee, you pay yourself, you take care and take full responsibility for your work. And everything in return goes all back to you. So this is what we mean that work for yourself, only yourself. By this, you are not living someone's expectation. You don't have a KPI, you don't have a OKR, you don't have a PIP, you don't work for your boss, you work for yourself. That's what we call single person company. Just like I'm filming this video, I really like this idea of single person company. Think about this. If you own a company, what would you do differently than working a job at other people's company? How would you run its business? How would you take responsibility for it? What is your motivation? And how would you plan it in maybe 2 to 3 years ahead? I think that will be a completely different picture for you, right? If you think about it. And maybe your answer is that, oh, I don't want to work in manufacturing industry anymore. I want to bake cookies. I want to be a chef. All of the interests, all of the motivations, the imagination, the stories in your head when you were a kid, you might think about that because that's something really motivates you to keep learning and keep improving, keep that for many, many more years. But if you go back to reality, think about the jobs you're doing right now, you're gonna lower your head and say, let's make some money, right? I'm working for money, for the everyday stuff in my life because I need them to support my life. Maybe you cannot start a business at this moment, but I think whatever you are doing a job, or you're confusing, upset, or working, living up to other person's expectations, just try to do it in a way of single person company. Think about you are trying to build that company for the next 2 to 3 decades. Think about what you like. Think about what you can invest. Think about what motivates you for many, many years. Think about what you really wanted to do, you have a passion for. With that, you can gradually shift your mindset. What upsets you won't upset you that much anymore. If you are working in a manufacturing industry, then think about you can start to build something that you can apply your knowledge in the industry, build a product. Right? If you are a marketing person, you are a chef, how can you share that around? I know many people hate social media nowadays, but I have to say this is the most accessible way for us, for ordinary people, to realize the dream of the single person company. Try to open an account, to set up your social media account and start sharing that. Don't think about the cameras, the editing skills. No, you don't really need them. You just need to record that, and time after time you will improve that. If you do technology, maybe you can collaborate, try to do a product, to do an app that can really solve something in your life. There are insights, there are needs there are motivations everywhere in your life. You can just pick one or two and testify. Then you can, upload to the App Store, or you can ask your people to try it. Try to share this around your community, and then maybe you can find some chance. If you love sports, you can share motivations, right? Grab people who loves fitness around you. You can start a community. That's how Lululemon get started, right? Try to build that community, try to influence people, and be the influencer in your fitness community. And time after time, there will be a bunch of people that can really build your connections. And for fitness industry, the motivation, the passion is so much essential, because this is so emotional. The principle, the emotion keeps you going. These are just a few examples for starting this mindset. If you have anything else to do, you love something else, then you can definitely try to do it. I think the basic principle is that something you really love, something is very accessible in your life. Like if you love cooking, you definitely have a lot of kitchen equipments, right? So that's very accessible. And with some persistency, you need to keep doing that, repeating that one or two simple things in your life until you see some impact on that. So I'm not encouraging you that you have to change a job, but you need to start thinking about that. You have 24 hours, basically 16 hours a week every day. With that 10 hours, maybe you're working for something for a decent payment, but maybe you can start to do something else that can be a lifelong motivation for you. And probably you can start thinking about how you can build that into a business. Social media is a business, of course. People buy your emotional bonding, people buy skills, people buy company, someone they can talk to in their live streaming room. Think about that. But it gotta be something you really like. And if you have the chance to exponentially increase the impact of your interest and something you love, then it might be turning to a business. And trust me, I think nowadays, not so many people want to do a 200-person company. You got all the time to manage people, create different SOP, different rules, different guidelines. I think doing a very small business, small job is something more suitable for all of us today. And it's something easy to start with. Like I'm recording this video, I want to get more subscriptions, I want to get more fans, and someday maybe I can monetize my channel. So I think making money is not the only purpose, but I enjoy the process. That's why I'm sharing this with you. And if you have some ideas, like something you love, I do marketing, I can give you some suggestions. Maybe just drop a comment if you like to talk more. Okay, bye.